All right, so boom. Y'all know how this goes. Y'all know how this goes. Let's get it. Nobody knew if the XXL list was going to happen this year or not. With all the nonsense that's been happening, we were all surprised to see that they went through with it. And this year has been super popular compared to others. Almost every video XXL dropped regarding the list got on the YouTube trending page. And of course, that includes some of the freestyles. There were a lot of people checking out the cover this year, so that's cool. Now, the first thing I noticed was that this is the second time in history that they had 12 people on the cover. And all 12 people did a freestyle, so there was a lot of content to look forward to this year. Granted, all 12 of them got ruined by the comment section because people wanted to make Lil Mosey jokes nonstop on everybody's video. Like, man, after the fourth freestyle, I just stopped reading the comments because it was just a bunch of Lil Mosey, I woke up like the man comments. Y'all niggas are really lame, dog. So let's jump into the ranking and let's get into talking about Lil Keed's freestyle. Oh, I'm sorry, did I reveal that he was in last place? Of course he is. Everyone knew the moment the freestyle trailer dropped that he would have the worst one. But god damn, like this nigga is garbage. I wasn't expecting it to be this bad. Money grow old like grandparents. We all heard that and went, hell no, he definitely at the bottom. Now, the number one issue with Keed's freestyle is his voice. Easily, it was his voice. The lyrics itself, at least at the beginning, was cookie cutter rap lyrics that a Smoke, Perp, or a Lil Pump would have said. But that's just the beginning. Like the rest of it, when he couldn't even get the words out, that don't just so much. And also, I don't know if he said, I'll make it rain, no Harriet Tubman, or I'll make it rain on Harriet Tubman. But why am I wondering this? Like, it's garbage either way. Also, Lil Keed was actually someone that I didn't mind being on the list. I'm not a fan of him or anything, but that Keed talk to him, I actually like that. But I didn't want him talking to me after I heard this freestyle. I honestly don't know how anyone can defend this. If you've watched all 12 freestyles and you don't have Lil Keed in last place, I'm just gonna assume that you're best friends with Lil Keed or something, and you're just trying to defend your homeboy. Because anybody else can see that he was the worst of the bunch, without question. Next up is Fivio Foreign. Although I had Lil Keed in last place, since his was released before Lil Keed's, Fivio was the first freestyle where after watching it, I said, this was straight up trash, bro. Out of all the people that was released before Fivio's, I didn't think anyone's flat out sucked, but this one I thought was a new low. Now let me say this, even though Fivio is low on the list, this dude is a whole character, man. I can see why people can watch this and enjoy it. He has some humor to him, and I don't think anyone else on the list can replicate that. It may be because he was actually freestyling, but I didn't like how he kept stopping and kept looking around like, hey, It made him look like so paranoid, like he didn't know what he was about to say next. And then the lyrics was a bunch of nothing, just talking about women and how messed up he can get off the pills he takes. He's not ashamed to admit he be pill popping. I have seen so many people give Fivio a pass saying, hey, he's a drill rapper, man. Drill rappers don't really freestyle like that. He would have sounded great if this was on the beat. I mean, fuck all that. Fuck all that. This was whack. Stop. This was big whack. I can honestly do without Fivio's freestyle. I laughed at the end with the, she called on my phone. I answered like, chill out, I'm coming to get you. But I'm never going to get it. I'm never going to get a good bow. Like, I actually chuckled at that line. So Fivio's did have some humor to it. But, nah, man. It was unique for him and it was entertaining, but I still don't think it was good. I really don't. It was an easy choice of being toward the bottom of the list. I know one thing some of y'all may call me a hater for, but Cowboy's freestyle was pretty fucking boring. In addition to it being kind of short, I swear, when XXL released his freestyle, I clicked on it, let it play, and then 45 seconds later, I forgot that I already listened to it. But when I went back to play it again, I was still just sitting there straight-faced. Like, it revoked zero reaction out of me. And I know one thing, it could possibly grow on me, but for now, I seriously don't think much of it. I actually almost forgot to put this nigga in this video, if I'm being honest. I had to come back and add this dude in 10th place because I realized I was missing a spot. And I know one thing is, I better not see anyone saying Cowboy was like top 3 or top 5. Like, come on, like, I'm sorry, like, there was nothing to this. She said she loved me, I know she lying. I'm from the rack when niggas be dying. Man, listen, I really don't care for this freestyle. I don't. It was really mediocre to me. In 9th place, we have Latto. Latto definitely had what I would call a, well, what did you expect freestyle. I don't think anybody went into this freestyle expecting something too crazy. For most of us, we got what we expected. So Latto's freestyle was no different than Megan Thee Stallion's from 2019. Just a freestyle about being a bad bitch, how she's a player, and how she gets a bag by any means. But when Megan spit a freestyle like this, like, she did a great job. She was top 3 in her class. With Latto, even though it was a similar subject matter, it just didn't hit the same. The flow wasn't anything impressive, no bars that were anything to point out. It was just like, bro, this is the most generic you could possibly get. Every year somebody has a freestyle that's just very okay. Nothing crazy about it and nothing trash about it. This year that person was Latto. After hearing her freestyle several times, my opinion never changes. Like, it's consistently decent. One thing I will give her though is her confidence. I like the entire big Latto attitude that she has. It really adds to her character, and it's always good to see someone with confidence. So I rock with that. I've seen a good number of people say that they've heard Latto freestyle in other places and she can go way harder than this, and I would actually like to see that. So those people, I want you to tell me in the comment section, where can I find a video of her spazzing? Because this freestyle was just whatever to me. The person that's next on this list was somebody where when their freestyle first dropped, they were towards the top of the list. Like, I had them in top 3, top 4 range. But the more freestyles that got released, this person got knocked down lower and lower on the list. And that person is Baby Keem. Now, I don't listen to Baby Keem's music at all, but one thing I kept constantly seeing is people saying this freestyle is completely different from the music he usually makes. Apparently, he's an upbeat rapper who makes music you can get hype or get lit to. So this depressed, antisocial like freestyle is not something he does really. And I do think it's messed up that people were comparing him to XXXTentacion just because he had this style. Other than that, you can tell that he came from a hurtful place when he spoke about being on the housing list with his grandmother and how he thinks his feelings aren't shielded in today's society. The dark and ominous demeanor behind it definitely matches with the subject matter. Now here's the thing. I would never come back to this freestyle. Never. I listened to this freestyle like 10 plus times, and I only did that so I can make this video and see how he stacked up against the other freshmen. But truthfully, this was not entertaining at all. I'll go as far as to say Baby Keem easily had the most boring freestyle this year. I understand that not everything has to be a fast flow, witty punchline, like hype lit kind of rap. I completely understand that. That's not what I'm saying. Because I feel like some of y'all, that's immediately what y'all thought because I called him boring. I can admit his freestyle was still good lyrically. I have nothing against slow vibe, emotional kind of rap. But this was one of those things for me where it's like, even though I can admit it's good, like I would never want to put this on. This is one freestyle from 2020 that I know I'm not going to revisit. In 7th place, we have NLE Choppa. One thing I want to say about NLE Choppa really quick is that this dude is a whole fraud for being on the list this year. Last year, this man went on a whole tirade saying the freshman list is irrelevant and that he didn't give a damn about being on it because nobody cares about the cover. And then literally the next year, he's all smiley and bubbly and happy to be on the list. Like, dude's a real ham for that. But in regards to his freestyle, it fit the type of music he makes. Energetic, street bars, barely taking any breaths in between lines. And I actually liked how he pretty much kept the same flow throughout the freestyle. He didn't start off slow and then build a faster pace. Instead, as soon as he started out, it was, one thing's for sure, I ain't never been a runner. Hanging out the window, I was always gunning. Got a little feet work, then I started hunting. Take him out the game, I'ma kill all opponents. Now, the biggest thing we all noticed that happened while he was rapping was the stumble midway through. When he said, 100 some shots when I walk him down there before, I said that I was gonna overkill him. Oh, nigga. We was all like, oh, nigga, you almost had it. You almost had it, but nah. Another thing I want to point out too, I don't know about y'all, but that Corona line was super cringy to me. Some of y'all may have thought it was fire, but the moment I heard it, I just went, It would be you that has a Corona bar in here. Overall, NLE Choppa's freestyle is certainly listenable, and I thought it was cool. Just a couple of slip-ups here and there is what brought it down on the list. Alright, halfway through the list now, we got LilTjay, and super pause on this, but this nigga LilTjay has a lovely voice on this freestyle. Like, deadass, most of the reason I like his freestyle is because of the little melodies he kept throwing in there. In terms of content, it was decent. He done came up from struggling, he got haters, he got some nice diamonds and a lot of money, like, yeah, whatever. But these sinking moments is what moves it higher on the list for me. I know I'm on probation, but I'ma still keep this pipe. Fuck the other side, we don't care about ops now. I done made it here, I'll be dumb if I stop now. I know these niggas mad. I'ma run it up and put them hundreds in the stash. Ooh. Hey man, this nigga LilTjay probably has my not even probably. This nigga definitely has my favorite freestyle this year. This sounds really good. It reminds me of the end of Roddy Ricch's freestyle from 2019, how he ended it with going to war for war, trying to be larger than large. Yeah. So if it wasn't for the little vocal inflections that he threw in, I wouldn't think it would be that entertaining. So his singing really added to it, and that's why he's in 6th place. In 5th place, we have Chika. Now, I was kind of pissed that Chika's freestyle was only 30 seconds because this girl was crying during her pitch saying how much she wanted to be on the list and how much it would mean to her. So you went through all that and you only rapped for 30 seconds. You could have rapped longer, but nevertheless, I guess it's quality over quantity. That's what some of y'all be saying. So it was nice even with this length. Because of the lyrics of Chika's freestyle, so many people was surprised to hear that she was attracted to women. I already knew that because I first heard of Chika through her 2018 BET Cypher, and she said a couple of lyrics revealing it in there, such as, all my haters stay bums, tell them boys to say something, play my songs and all they girls give me parumpa pum pum. And later on in that same verse, she said, don't trip on the weaker man, get your bars up. Guaranteed to make a player fold whenever cars up. Spit a 16 equivalent to call them bras up. Personally, I just want your girl to pick her drawers up. Y'all gotta check that verse out if you ain't heard it. But Chika's story in her freestyle was short and sweet, contemplating on sliding on this beautiful girl that she sees because a bunch of guys are flocking around her. The Cinderella metaphor is something that flew over some people's heads. But when you hear it again, it was like, okay, that was cool. Now, I don't know if people are just saying stuff like this just to try super hard to get Chika more attention, so y'all just be saying whatever. But anybody who thinks Chika's freestyle was better than Polo G's, y'all are out of line. I'm saying this because Polo G's was the second freestyle that came out and then Chika was third, and I saw a good number of people putting her as the best one, and they just didn't want to hear otherwise. Y'all only saying Polo G is better than her because he's more popular and people don't really know about Chika. Hers was definitely better. Like, look, it has nothing to do with clout or popularity. Polo G just straight up had a better freestyle than her. I want Chika to get more exposure and love as well, but y'all Chika fans need to calm down. But speaking of Polo G, next up on the list, no, it's not him. Next on the list is actually 24K Golden. Now, I think I speak for a good number of people when I say, I was not expecting this freestyle to be as good as it was. It's not like I was expecting to hate it or anything, but after it stopped playing, I went like, wow, like that was actually enjoyable. I actually rock with that. My reasoning for not really expecting much out of this is because I've never heard a single 24K Golden song in my life. I know his most popular song is Valentino, but I've never wanted to play it. Even when recording this video, I told myself like maybe I should play this song once to get some idea of what his ordinary music sounds like, but then I realized I didn't want to. So yeah, this freestyle was literally my first impression of him. And I definitely like what I heard. He talked about his lavish lifestyle and how he loves the expensive clothes and jewelry. And I was rocking heavy with the melodies he was throwing in. I got imperfections they don't know, but I can't think of anyone who don't. Certain things I never told my father, wasn't trying to deal with all the drama. Like, that shit was actually sounding really good. And I was surprised when he started sinking his heart out at the end. I know a couple of people said that like the end of his freestyle was when he kind of like dropped the ball. It was okay before that, but when it got to the end, it kind of fell off. But for me, his singing sounded really good at the end as well. I didn't know that's what he was going to do at first. Like, he just stopped talking for like 2-3 seconds. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, did he choke? Probably from that small ass necklace he was wearing. But then he broke out harmonizing like crazy. He actually sounded good. I was expecting the cringe and being ready to turn it off. But after it ended, I was like, yo, like that was actually nice. I didn't like the ending though. I didn't like the ending with the yeah. That just sounded so different from the rest of the verse. It sounded like designer, and I didn't think he needed to do all that. But whatever, this was very enjoyable, and I seriously feel like 24K Golden had a better freestyle than most of the people on the cover this year. Okay, now speaking of Polo G. At number 3, we have Ride Wave. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Ride Wave is someone that I truthfully don't care for his regular music because he has that type of style we've been hearing a lot in recent years. Being a rapper slash singer who talks about his struggles, like it's nothing new now. It's kind of rich that I'm saying this considering Polo G and LilTjay rap about the same things and they're on this cover too. Like, but no, this goes for these niggas as well. Like, they're not off the hook. This applies to all 3 of them. Hearing people have that soft melodic rap style while talking about how much they got it out the mud and they were knocked down on their asses when they was younger and now they got some success and they gotta do whatever they can to maintain it. Like, all of that is pretty and all, but it's gotten played out by this point. Ride Wave was the last straw for me. If any other rapper comes into the game with this type of style, I'm already looking at them like they're unoriginal. But damn my opinion on his regular music because this freestyle was flames. I do recommend Ride Wave to others because with stuff like this, he deserves the love that he's been getting. People are calling him out for his freestyle being his song Smile as well. But hey, this freestyle was hard and that song was hard. My favorite set of lyrics was towards the end when he said, and all of you niggas on the internet be hoes. You the type of nigga I hated when I was broke. You the type of nigga to see this pole and be froze. Man, no, I'm not even gonna lie. Even further than that, just talking about how he was already hustling when other people were just starting out. By the time you jumped off the porch, I was in the middle of the road. When you got down the street, I was already heading home. Dog, I'm talking about the end being my favorite, but this entire thing was great. saying how his mindset went from having regular kid dreams like wanting to be a firefighter, but then seeing how people on his block were just making bread from doing other things and being in the streets. He had to get real and start putting in that work to make money another way. The only complaint I really have about Rod Wave's freestyle though is that I wish he switched up like his voice a little bit at some point, because hearing him talk in that same tone for over a minute, it did start to sound dull at times. I'm not gonna lie. If you think Rod Wave's freestyle is boring, I completely understand why you would say that. But in my opinion, it was definitely still good enough for him to be top 3. The runner-up on this list is some dude named Polo G. Easily my favorite thing about Polo G's freestyle is the melody he has. His rapping voice just naturally sounds good, so it's like regardless of what he says, he can make it sound appealing to the ear. You know everything Polo G says is from the heart too. He's not just saying bars just to say them. Lines like, I'm just trying to be that baller that my dog didn't get to be. I got bigger dreams because I ain't doing all this shit for me. You hear that and you know that he's not a person that's just rapping to make a quick buck. He putting his soul into the rap game. You gotta appreciate a rapper like that. I will say my favorite lines from him were the angel on my shoulder can't convince me that I shouldn't spaz. That was really nice. And then of course the line that got everybody was the then I beat the odds because I can come up with a hook fast. Like nice ass double entendre. I see why people like this dude though. He tight. Now this is something I gotta address to all these Polo G fans out here though. Polo G is somebody where he has a lot of lines that are dope, but they're simple at the same time. So it makes it weird when people hype them up, because it's like, yeah, the line was good, but don't say it like it was incredible. Such as the final line in his freestyle when he said, I'm going #1 for all the times that we was put last. As soon as his freestyle dropped, I was seeing people take that line and say stuff like dog, this man Polo G said, I'm going #1 for all the times that we was put last. You can't tell me this man won't be a future legend. Like shit like that. Y'all gotta stop with that. His lyrics are nice, but y'all need to calm down. Y'all be taking the simplest stuff he be saying and act like it's the best thing in the universe. And the #1 best freestyle this year, and I did not expect this person to have the best one at all, but I gotta give it to Jack Harlow. I'm not sure what y'all reason is, but for me, the reason why this freestyle was so crazy was because this was not something I was expecting him to rap about. The subject matter, I didn't think he would ever rap about a topic like this. Speaking about the tragedies that's going on in his hometown in Louisville, specifically about the David McAtee situation, I feel like if you don't know the story or have not bothered looking up the story about David McAtee, then your opinion on Jack Harlow's freestyle doesn't mean that much because you're missing a big part of the context. But hearing him bring up the question of whether people are serious about the message and the cause, or if they just want to make a ruckus and start violence, was pretty nice. And the lines closer to the end about how some men leave their home life and their dreams behind to enter war, and they know there's a high chance they won't come back alive, so they start a family so a piece of them will always be around when they're gone. Jack set the bar really high when his freestyle dropped. After his came out, most of the remaining ones just felt super underwhelming. All in all, man, I would be hurt to find out Harlow didn't come up with this. Like, let me find out this nigga got this verse from someone else. Like, I take back every nice thing I ever said about this dude. But if he did come up with this himself, I actually want to hear the song that he got this from or that he's going to put it in, because this definitely made me want to check out his catalog.